All right, Rainey, thank you. We'll take it. Appreciate it. Well, we all know certain foods can be dangerous for our pets during the holiday season, but what other hazards might be lurking around the house? Joining us now to share more is Tom Duck, of course, with Noah's Animal Hospitals. Tom, good morning to you. Nice to see you.
Well, thank you. Good morning to you all as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, you know, a lot of times in our social media feed, we see these stories about what to avoid, right, when it comes to dangers from the holiday table. But there are a lot of other things I feel like we perhaps need to consider as well.
Well, we sure do, and like you said, we've just got through that big holiday of Thanksgiving and everybody was focused on don't give your pet that, or if you're going to give, only give this much type of thing. But now everybody probably spent a lot of the last weekend maybe starting to decorate.
Yeah, decorating.
And so we've got to look at how these decorations can really attract or even affect our pets. And I think some of the most fun things to look at is the inventive ways that people are putting barriers around their Christmas trees to keep the pets out, whether it's in a dog cage or hung up on the wall, or the half trees that only go down so far and have, just bare trunk, basically, all the way up to try to keep the pets away from it.
Absolutely. Okay, what else do we need to be aware of? You say decorating. I would imagine certain ornaments, right? A lot of them perhaps can be dangerous if the dog or cat tries to pull them down.
Well, think about, these shiny glass ornaments, they're going to reflect light, the tinsel, the garland that's going to move around. That's all simulating prey, and especially for our cats. They like to look at that garland, that tinsel, and they'll grab onto it and they're playing with it because they don't have hands. They're going to play with their mouth and, they'll inadvertently swallow it. Well, that's a real problem because what that'll do is one end anchors down at some point in the GI tract, and then the GI tract just keeps accordioning on itself. And so you get what's called a foreign body, a linear foreign body. And that is an emergency surgery that has to happen. And as we've talked over these last several months, getting into the veterinarian is challenging right now. So we really want to make sure, we're not swallowing the tinsel or garland, not breaking the glass ornaments where it could hurt little kitty toes or even naked little people toes.
Yeah. This next one is really interesting to me. You say that veterinarians will often see increased number of electrical burns this time of year, all due to the extra Christmas lights.
Right. You've got extra cords around. And remember, our pets explore their worlds with their mouth. And you may have gotten a new pet during these last several months to help with your quarantine, your stay-at-home orders. And this pet has never experienced this before. And so now all of a sudden, hey, wow, what's this? Maybe I can tug and play. And, when they pull on it, something shakes. And so they pull some more. But we routinely see burns to the mouth from dogs and cats who are biting down on electrical cords. So we want to make sure those are put up and out of the way as best as possible.
And this next one, I actually I don't have any pets at home, but I just got out a snow globe. I wouldn't think of that being, dangerous because you feel like those are pretty intact.
Yeah, I think you put it up on a shelf or something, and we know how cats are.
And breaks.
Yeah, we don't want that on the shelf, so we knock it off. And it does have a type of antifreeze in. Thankfully, it's a little bit safer than the car antifreeze that we're used to using, but still, that's something we want to clean up pretty quickly because very small amounts of antifreeze can be toxic to pets very quickly.
And then you also mentioned ornamental plants. This is something as well that could be a danger.
Right. Everybody loves, I think, poinsettias. I think it really sets off the season for many people. And poinsettias have actually gotten a really bad rap for being toxic for pets, and they're really not. They can cause a little bit of vomiting, maybe a little diarrhea. They'd have to get into quite a bit to be dangerous. It's really more mistletoe and holly. We don't see a lot of that here in the United States. That's more of a European thing. But lilies, we talk about lilies at Easter time, but if you're ordering flowers in, if you're trying to spruce up your home, or maybe somebody sends you a floral bouquet, if it's got lilies in it, those are toxic to cats, so toxic that one leaf or even some pollen can cause irreversible kidney failure.
Oh, that's so scary for sure. Tom, anything else, any other dangers that perhaps we may not be aware of that we need to kind of keep our eye on in our homes?
Well, I think, we can kind of go back sort of to the snow globes. People a lot of times will be doing car maintenance at this time of year, putting new antifreeze in. And so if your dog's out in the garage with you and you have an antifreeze spill, we need to clean that up pretty regularly as well. And just the cold weather. We know it's colder this time of year. If you've got an older pet, They might need help walking on the slippery sidewalks. If you've got a new puppy, they can't stay outside for very long. Now, remember, here around central Indiana, several communities have an ordinance to bring your pet in if it's less than freezing outside. But let's not go get crazy about that with our neighbors. There's lots of dogs that just love to run in the snow, and it's hard to get them inside sometimes.
I know, it certainly is. All right, Tom, thank you so much for all of these tips. Of course, we'll put them on our website, indystyle.tv, along with a link to yours. Appreciate it. My friend, happy holidays to you.
You too. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Tracy Ann, over to you.